The Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings are going to clash tomorrow night. I think Dallas is the best team in the NFL. Do you think that they are the Super Bowl favorites?
I think you definitely have to have them at the center of the conversation. I saw them at that wild game in Pittsburgh about 3 weeks ago, and that really changed my perception about how Dallas is constructed, because that was a game that did not go to their plan. They did not control the clock. They did not really control the football the way they were accustomed to seeing. But what happened? After giving up 400-plus yards, 30 points in that game, Dak Prescott gets the ball back with about a minute to go, takes on those blitzes the Steelers have been setting up the entire game on third down, and goes right down the field on him again. They've now gotten to the point where I think early in the season it was Ezekiel Elliott and the offensive line really elevating the level of the rookie quarterback, giving him positive situations to throw in. He's still seeing that, but Dak Prescott now is elevating everybody around him. That's a dangerous 1-2 punch.
Yeah, without question. And with that said, Tom, do you think Minnesota can pose any real threat tomorrow night?
I think they can. It's in their building, but they've got to play a lot better than they've been playing over the past 5 or 6 weeks here. I think, number one, they've got to have the best game they've had the entire season stopping the run. And second is, they've got to score. The Cowboys in their 10-game winning streak, averaging almost 30 points a game. The Vikings this entire season have scored 30 points in a game twice. That's where everything comes from when you hear Sam Bradford talking about we need more explosive plays. Alex Boone told me yesterday, Bradford came to them and said, I need you guys to be some tough mofos here. I need time to let these things develop. They know they've got to find ways to push the ball down the field, because if you have a 12-play drive every time to get to the end zone, that's 12 plays for somebody to mess it up.
Tom, you're very tapped into the Minnesota Vikings. You referenced a conversation with Boone. What's the roots of their collapse?
Everyone around Alex Boone. It's the offensive line. And really, it's stuff that we saw even when they started off 5-0. You started to see some of the injuries that they had. Both starting tackles, Matt Khalil and Andre Smith, are lost for the season at this point. Joe Berger, their starting center, not going to play tomorrow night either. So now you've got 3 young players at what I would consider the 3 most important spots along that offensive line. They have not run the football effectively the entire season. Now they've gone to just this short, quick-hitting passing game to try to overcome that. It's difficult when every single week you're playing that type of football, especially when you're a team that's built to rush the passer. That's the best thing that you do. What happens if you don't have a lead? Everybody goes max protect on you, keep those pass rushers away. Vikings haven't been able to play their style of football.
Tom, I don't think, with that said, the Minnesota Vikings are capable of suddenly getting it together and making the playoffs, especially without Norv Turner. Do you think they're capable of making a run here?
There's definitely a shift after Norv decides to resign, which caught everybody by surprise. Pat Shurmur comes in. You've seen Shurmur put a little bit of his spin onto the offense recently. There are certain plays you can tell are drawn straight out of the Chip Kelly playbook that they've started to impart here. I think that it's difficult for them, absolutely. It has less, though, to do with the coaching, I think, than just the personnel. They're not going to suddenly find a couple of NFL starting caliber tackles laying around on the street here. Are they able to get something together? I'll say this, even if they lose to Dallas, they've still got a shot, because the rest of the schedule, Jacksonville on the road, Indy at home, they go to Green Bay, another team that'll be in the mix, and then a Bears team that, heck, by week 17, I might be starting at wide receiver for Chicago.